Bridging Resources is one of our flagship programs. We started it about 15 years ago with KW Multicultural Center. The idea of Bridging Resources is to bring together emerging multicultural community leaders. And what that means, it sounds very abstract, but really what it means is you represent a multicultural group, you care about your community, you have passion for what's going on, you paid attention to the needs of your community, and you want to do something about it. The Leadership Development Training, which is one of our newest programs coming from Bridging Resources, the idea of it was to give emerging multicultural leaders the opportunity to get a structured training on community development skills. So a lot of them have these skills naturally, or they were doing this sort of work in their first country, or the country of birth, but the idea of it was to adapting it to the Canadian context or giving more sort of formalized training. People were asking us for this. They were asking us for public speaking skills, facilitation skills, conflict negotiation, and they would say to us, "You do this, can you tell us how you do it?" So of course we started that program. It's a 12-week program. It's sort of every Wednesday evening for 12 weeks, runs for 2.5 hours, and it's content and it's also a lot of discussion. As I said, these group leaders really have so much to give and so much to share that the sharing component of it is really important to the training.
It was around the table, like you have people from around the world. It was just looking like a small United Nation site, and everyone was so passionate, and there was lots of energy, lots of motivation, ideas.
We very much believe and encourage people to build on their strengths, and we firmly believe that people know what needs to get done and they can come up with their own solutions to their problems. And I think that's a value that extends to my work, and I'm very proud to be able to do that, to go to people and ask them, what are your needs? What do you see as the possible solution? What do you have already available to you? It's not about me coming in and saying, here's all the things you need to do differently. It's about me saying, how can I help you do what you're already doing better? And I think that's one of the wonderful things about doing it on behalf of a counseling agency, is we do have that value. And it's really exciting to me to sort of be able to do that in this multicultural community development work.
Well, I see two benefits in having a training for multicultural leaders. One is to have those communities get closer and more familiar and more on ease with programs and services.
Have different community groups getting together and seeing, it's not just my community dealing with our kids not doing well at school, or with violence, or with financial stress. It's everybody's dealing with this. And just to hear that and to hear how other people are dealing with it can be very, very helpful.
That's one part of it, the community and the community could benefit. The other part is the benefit for the programs, services, and organizations. They can enhance their services by meeting with these leaders, having them in a conversation. So when they are putting together a guideline, putting together a program to look at the sensitivity, cultural sensitivity, is there something they need to be more careful about? Is there something they need to say more or even say less when they want to approach and encourage families to come and, for example, use mental health services or counseling services? So it's something that benefits both sides, and leaders could act as that bridge. That's what I see as Bridging Resources, what's doing, to be that bridge between the community and organizations and facilitate the communication.
And how you get involved is you just give me a call and I'll talk to you a little bit about the group. And then we're happy to have you come to the group. And it's a very open, welcoming environment. Everybody wants to know what you're doing and how you're doing it and where you're from and how long you've been in Canada. I think all of us are really excited about learning about people's experiences. And then you can really sort of be as involved as you like. Some people will come purely for the training aspect of it. Some people will come to network and say, what are you doing? How'd you get your money? How'd you get your space? And for some people, it's really more an opportunity to feel as though they're not alone in Canada and there's other people that are going through the same thing you are.